By the end of the lesson, I will be able to graph the solution of simple inequalities. The first thing I would like you to do is draw a shape to represent the bag on your paper. So go ahead and draw a shape. You can draw a circle, a triangle, a diamond, it doesn't matter. Draw a shape. Then I want you to just look at that shape. What did you draw? So I would have drawn a circle, and it doesn't matter. So you can have a circle drawn or a rectangle or a square. Know that when we graph inequalities, you're going to want to use a circle. That's why I chose to use a circle. So you've drawn your shape. Now think about how would you represent a full bag. Go ahead and pause the video and think about that. I want you to draw the circle and represent a full bag. I would represent the full bag with a colored in circle. Now, how are you going to represent an empty bag? If we had a colored in circle with a full bag, how am I going to represent an empty bag? I hope you said that you would represent an empty bag with a circle that has nothing in the inside, so a non-filled circle. Here are some inequality symbols that are going to be very, very, very important to you, so you want to have them in your notes. The first inequality symbol is a less than. Make sure that you have the less than symbol drawn, and make sure you have the words next to it, and also that you have an empty circle with less than. You're going to have greater than, and you're going to have an empty circle also. Notice that these represent the empty bag. They also represent that the number that is less than or greater than the variable is not included in the number set of solutions. So if it's empty, then the number is not included. So look at the green, does not include. Then you're going to have less than or equal to along with greater than or equal to. These two symbols, these two inequality symbols, have a closed dark circle, and that represents our full bag, or it does include. So when I don't have groceries in my bag is empty, and when I do have groceries in my bag is full. So I have a non-shaded and shaded in circle based on my inequality symbols on the left. All right, so how do I know what directions to shade when graphing an inequality? There are 4 steps that you need to write down. The first one is that you're going to make your number line. The second one is draw your circle and decide the shade in the circle or not based on the inequality symbol, what you just learned. Put the variable on the side that makes sense, and then shade towards the variable. So when we shade towards the variable, that means that it was a true inequality. The first one that we're going to do is x is less than 4. I have a number line. When we label our number line, we need to put 3 lines on our number line. The middle line is the number that we see. So we have a 4. The one to the right is one larger than the number we see, and the number to the left is one smaller than the number that we see. Then I'm going to, so that was the first step that I've done, so draw my number line. The second one is draw the circle and shade. Circle always goes over the number that we see. We're going to decide if we're going to shade or not. I see a less than symbol. There is no bar. That means we do not fill in the circle. My bag is not full. There isn't a bottom on my bag. So there is not a mark underneath my inequality symbol. So we do not fill our circle in. Then I need to figure out which side is going to make my inequality true. So I'm going to go to the left and I'm going to say, is 3 less than 4? And I'm going to go to the right and say, is 5 less than 4? And whichever inequality is true, that's the way I'm going to shade. So 5 is not less than 4. So I'm going to shade in the direction of 3. So that was our step number 3. So put the variable where it makes sense. And then our step 4 is to shade that direction. So shade in the direction of the variable. Our second example is going to be x is greater than -1. So I'm placing my 3 lines on my number line. -1 is the number I see. 0 is 1 larger and -2 is 1 smaller. Again, I'm going to have an open circle because I have a greater than symbol. To figure out which way I'm going to shade, I need to insert -2 is greater than -1. Make sure you have a question mark because that's what we're questioning. Or is 0 greater than -1? 0 is greater than -1. So I'm going to shade in the direction in which makes the inequality true. If I think about it, I could insert a 10 here, and 10 is greater than -1, right? If I kept going on my number line, I could go to 100. 100 is greater than -1. That's why I'm going to shade in that direction. The third example, I'm going to put my 3 lines. 7 is the number I see. 8 is 1 larger. 6 is 1 less. I have a less than or equals to. I have the bottom of the bag. So if I put anything, this is the bottom of the bag. If I put anything in my bag, it's going to stay. So that means that 7 is part of the solution set. I'm going to shade in the circle. And then I'm going to figure out which way I'm going to shade. Is 7 less than, or is 6 less than or equal to 7? Or is 8 less than or equal to 7? And 6 is less than or equal to 7, so I'm going to shade in the direction of 6. Notice that I'm shading all the way past 6 and over my arrow because my solution set is anything in that direction on my number line, any integer on my number line in that direction. The next one, I'm drawing my number line. 2 is the number I see. 1 larger than 2 is 3. 1 less than 2 is 1. I have a closed circle because 2 is included in my number set of solutions because a greater than or equal to sign. Is 1 greater than or equal to 2? Or is 3 greater than or equal to 2? And 3 is greater than or equal to 2, so I'm going to shade in the direction that makes my inequality true. I have 3 lines. 3 is the number I see. 4 is 1 larger. 2 is 1 less. I have an open circle because of my inequality symbol being less than. And I'm going to see which side makes it true. Is 3 less than 2? Or is 3 less than 4? And 3 is less than 4. So I'm going to shade in the direction to make my inequality a true statement. K is less than 10. I have 10. I have 11. I have 9. I have an open circle because of my less than symbol. Is 9 less than 10? Or is 11 less than 10? And 9 is less than 10, so I'm shading in that direction. -5. 1 greater than -5 is -4, and 1 less than -5 is -6. I have a closed circle because of my less than or equal to. And is -5 less than -6? Or is -5 less than -4? And -5 is less than -4. So I'm going to shade in the direction that makes my inequality a true statement. X is greater than 0. I have -1, 0, and 1. I have an open circle because of my inequality symbol. Is -1 greater than 0? Or is 1 greater than 0? And 1 is greater than 0, so I'm going to shade in the direction that makes my inequality statement true.